What's up, YouTube? My name's Chad Wright. This video series is meant to be a resource for you guys who are going to go to BUD/S, otherwise known as SEAL training. We're going to cover down on how I prepared for BUD/S back when I went through with class 278. I was able to make it all the way through training with no issues, never got rolled or any issues. So this is going to cover down on everything from how to prepare mentally, how to prepare running and endurance wise, how to prepare for the water, and also the calisthenics portion of your training to get ready to go and do this thing. So hope you guys enjoy it. If you did, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. We appreciate it. Love you. Nuff said. All right, YouTube, in this segment we are going to talk about the kind of strength side of training and preparing for BUD/S, otherwise known as SEAL training. We've hit running, we've hit swimming. This is going to cover down on push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, all that good stuff. I'll go ahead and tell you right off the bat, a lot of you guys are wondering about lifting weights and stuff before you go to SEAL training. I will tell you, I did not spend a single minute of my preparation for BUD/S in a gym. All right, I did not have a gym membership, didn't go to a gym, didn't lift a single weight in preparation for BUD/S. You want to be strong, but you want to stay pretty freaking lean. You don't want to be bulky if you can help it. Some of you guys are just built that way and you can't help it. I'm not saying that a muscular person can't make it through BUD/S, because I did see some dudes that were really strong that made it through, but they weren't strong because they were lifting weights all the time. They were just freaking strong because they were built that way, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I didn't spend any time in any gym, nothing like that. The main things I focused on was my pull-ups being number 1. Number 2 was my push-ups. And number 3 was my sit-ups. All right, now that's all on top of the running and swimming we've already talked about. The unique thing about the push-up, pull-up, and sit-up for the PST, which is the test you have to take to get a SEAL contract, they are very, very strict, okay? So you don't get away with any of this freaking bull crap, your butt in the air, you know, your sway backs, none of this stuff on your push-ups. Your sit-ups are judged with hands over the chest. Hands have to be on the shoulders, and you have to come all the way up and touch your elbows to the top of your knees. And your pull-ups are dead hang pull-ups, all right? So if you're practicing kipping pull-ups because you're a CrossFitter that decided they wanted to become a SEAL, you're probably not going to make it anyways if you're a CrossFitter. But if you're practicing kipping pull-ups, that's not going to do anything for you, right? The whole foundation of your preparation before SEAL training when it comes to push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups is all about being able to exceed the numbers that are demanded on the PST, whatever those numbers are now. You want to be able to go way above those numbers because getting a SEAL contract now is pretty competitive. So when you practice these things, you have to practice them in very, very strict form. Don't waste your time doing poor form. As far as numbers on these, it was my goal every single day in preparation for BUD/S to get at least 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 30 pull-ups every single day. All right, so even if I was going to go and do a 10-mile run on the power line cut that day, I was always going to get my 100, 130 on my push-ups, pull-ups, or push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups. All right, again, those are all strict form. You got to be able to exceed the numbers for your PST. Once you get to the point that you can exceed your PST numbers and you can comfortably pass that PST, I would say try to double the numbers. Once you can comfortably do that, you're good, man. You just need to maintain that, because here's the thing. When you get to actual BUD/S, I don't care if you can do 1,000 push-ups. They're going to make you do 2,000. I don't care if you can do 100 pull-ups. They're going to make you do 500. All right? They're going to break you down and put you past the point. You don't need a bunch of fancy equipment to do this, by the way. when I was preparing for buds, I did all this crap in a freaking pole barn, pretty much like this one, on a concrete floor. I did my pull-ups off of the rafters of the pole barn. I just wrapped some duct tape around the rafter, and that's where I did my pull-ups. Push-ups and sit-ups were just done on the ground with no freaking yoga mat, nothing to support my back, none of that bull crap, man. Just straight up on the ground. When you get to buds, your pull-ups are going to be done on a big fat bar, all right? That's why I like the rafters. Instead of having a little skinny, nice little bar, you're going to have some good grip strength to do the pull-ups that you need to do at buds, because that sucker, you can't even wrap your hands around it, all right? The majority of your sit-ups and push-ups are going to be done on the grinder, which is an asphalt, is basically a freaking parking lot with a bunch of little fins painted on it. And so you're going to be doing that on a hard surface, and I'm sorry, I don't think they're issuing yoga mats in buds yet. They will, I'm sure, maybe by the time you get there. But when I was doing it, they didn't. So callus up your dang tailbone, man. Callus up your hands. Build your grip strength. Again, make it as hard as you can possibly make it so that you're prepared when you get there to perform day after day after day. Because that's the thing with all this crap. I don't care if you can just do it one time. If you can pass the 4-mile time run one time, or you can pass, your push-ups or your sit-ups one time, you got to be able to pass this stuff and do this stuff easily, because you're going to have to do it day after day after day, and you're not going to get rest periods in between. That's why it's so important to make it as hard as you can make it when you're in control of that, and to train hard. Don't worry about strength. Don't worry about lifting weights. Freaking cancel your gym membership. You don't need any of that. If you want to do some extra leg strength, do air squats or lunges or something like that. But don't do them weighted. You're just wasting your time, and you're upping your chance of injuring yourself preparing to actually go to the freaking big show. Nuff said.